Welcome back, Mr. Goodberry. The First Star Logistics studio is fully equipped and ready to record.
Welcome back to Bengals On The Brain, presented by First Star Logistics. I'm your host, Joe Goodberry, and today's episode is going to be on a player that only played 19 snaps last year. But we're also going to look at some of his preseason reps and his college reps. He was an undrafted player from 2025. And I know I said I wasn't going to go back to undrafted guys, but I think we will at some point, and especially if preseason looks good the way it did for this player. And of course, that's Bralyn Lux at corner. And why this kind of came up was because Jasir Taylor, a player they signed in free agency, was getting first team reps on defense in OTAs week 2. And that kind of set off a little bit of alarms for me. Number one, Jalen Davis being slotted as the potential starter at number 3 corner in the slot. I thought he played decent. We're going to do a film review on Jalen Davis as well and really get an idea of what he looked like. But we did one on Jasir Taylor. So if we think that there's some type of competition, you can always go back and look at that game here on the Bengals On The Brain First Star Logistics YouTube page. You can find that. It didn't look good. He doesn't have great ball skills, doesn't always play with intensity. So I wasn't very excited. He's been a very good special teams player, though. So am I excited about Jasir Taylor getting reps with the number ones? I'm not at all. But to be honest, am I that excited about Jalen Davis being unchallenged at corner? No. So I want the competition to be there. And then I remembered I really liked what Bralyn Lux showed last year. And a lot of the film was going to focus on the game he played the most, which was the Cardinals game, week 17, where he straight up covered Trey McBride on a lot of plays as a slot guy. And Trey McBride, the Pro Bowl tight end for them, is going to get a lot of targets in that offense from the slot. So Lux ended up on him a ton. And that's a good game to watch. And then there's some preseason highlights. And then there's some clips from his Texas Tech days. And he played at Fresno before that. And I'll show you some of the why he went undrafted at 5'10", 179 pounds at his pro day. Let's say 180. Not big, ran a 4.51, not the fastest guy. But he's aggressive, good ball skills, and tackles really well in the slot. And we see around the league undrafted slot corners emerge, especially year 2, year 3. It happened with Mike Hilton, right? He wasn't highly touted coming out of college. You look at all across the league, and you'll see these guys blossom and become players for you. There's no reason to think that Bralyn Lux couldn't if he has the skill set and the movement skills and the understanding of what you have to do inside, which is be physical, be able to blitz, be able to tackle, be able to set the edge in the run game. And honestly, it's just a different game on the inside. It moves a little bit differently. Teams are putting their number 1 receiver in the slot a ton. You can't just stick guys in there, but we've seen it happen. And if the Bengals have 2 good boundary corners, maybe you go later at the inside spot in terms of talent. But could Lux beat out a Jalen Davis? Sure. Could Lux beat out a Jasir Taylor? Of course. Will he get the shot? Not convinced. But let's go back and look. And he was a guy I really liked last preseason. If he gets that shot, could he beat them out? I think he could, based on the tape. Let's dive in. Okay, number 21, because number 21 wears the slot in Cincinnati. He'll be coming up on the left side here, just about where my head is. I'll get out of the way in a second here. The play's going to come across the middle. And I like the way he's physical right there at the point of the break point of the receiver. See if I can capture it without getting that bar to show up at the bottom there. Right there. I like how physical he is. Knocks him off. And then as he's tracking this ball, this is a well-placed ball. Is that Josh Johnson, actually, now that I think about it, at quarterback? New third-string quarterback for Bengals. New, actually old. Again, third-string quarterback for the Bengals. This ball's laid pretty nicely right here. And you can see Lux with his hand on the backside, reaching with his long arm on the inside. This looks like a veteran play. And we're going to get another angle here because I want to say the television copy had a good angle of it. If I can get it in slow motion. I don't think I had it in slow motion there. But Bralyn Lux, number 21, that's a really nice pass breakup. There he is again. That's his other target, I believe, from this game. I want to go back a little bit more. This is him in the slot here. You see 83 is wide open. Put this ball on him, and it's a completion. Instead, it's thrown behind him. Yes, but watch where Lux was attacking, right? That upfield shoulder, that upfield arm. Even if this ball was out in front the way it should be, Lux was attacking it correctly. And I would have liked to have seen it be an accurate pass. It's easy. It's a cleaner evaluation for us if that's the case. But you can see still very physical. Even without that player catching it, still driving him into the ground. Number 21 here in the slot. Watch him dive inside. Jump into, what is that, the B gap? I mean, this guy is, who does that look like to you? Who does that remind you of? 21 here. Let's go back all the way a little bit here, and I want to pause it. Who does this remind you of in the slot? Yeah, give him the same number, but I think we got other plays here with him blitzing. Here he is against the Eagles in preseason. Again, same thing. Has to avoid that first guy. This is film I already cut up, so all the best plays of him. Has to avoid 87 here. And then 73 gets in front of him despite being pushed. You know, getting upfield and really stopping this run from going that way, forcing the running back to cut it upfield. And to his help, that's all on the inside here. But instead, that ball pops out because I don't know if Lux actually knocks it out. I don't think he does. I don't think he actually hits the ball. But I think that flash in front of the running back forced him to cough it up a little bit and just get a little bit nervous. All right, going to some other plays here, but in Lux in the slot, you already look like he's leaning inside, and you can see it because that's slot is leaning inside, but also whenever you get a safety over the top like this is something I've talked about hundreds of times in my film review, but if you're new, whenever you see that safety over top, you should expect this guy to blitz. So if you're wondering how these NFL quarterbacks figure this stuff out on the fly, well, that's usually a telltale sign that he's going to blitz. And no one picks it up right there, but just to see different ways that they're using him. And here comes Lux again, very strong against the run. I'm going to go back to this play. He's in the box here, as slot safeties have to be. Slot corners, I should say. It's turning into one position, so excuse me there. But I like the aggressiveness he comes in with. There's a lot of fire here. He is going full steam ahead. And he slams into that shoulder. And if it wasn't for, he's actually not, his hands aren't around the running back anymore. He's actually got his arms around the tight end that got blown into the backfield. I think that was by McKinley Jackson. No, 56. Cedric Johnson. No, Raymond Johnson. That's who that was, right? Anyway, here's Lux back in the slot here versus a slot receiver. Let's watch him in coverage. Great job here. It's zone. You're not always on your man. And we've got this route breaking in. This guy's basically running a clear out route. I don't remember what the slot guy's job is or what his route is. But for Lux specifically, as the quarterback's vision cone, remember the Madden vision cone is going in this direction. He knows that this guy's likely cutting inside, and he starts drifting into that window to make the quarterback at least think about it a little bit that, hey, you can't throw that right there. And as we see, Lux takes that away, and the quarterback is bailing the pocket to the right. So Lux did his job, broke on it very, very well, and forced the quarterback to run out of the pocket. All right, Lux is close to the line of scrimmage here. Two receivers, I think that's DJ Ivy behind him. That's why I like preseason football. I like to watch all these guys play and see what they can do. So it's nice to even see DJ Ivy out there. All right. But I think it's going to be a crossing route from 41 going behind the receiver at the point. Yes, it is. So Lux has to fight through that. I think he does a good job here. And then you got another guy trying to take him out. Did you see that? It's a little mesh concept. The other receiver is going to come and try and rub off Lux right there. He doesn't actually want to touch him. He just wants to make Lux maybe go inside. And then the receiver is going to bend it towards the outside. So it really makes you take a few more steps than the receiver. So if he's not faster than you, that's a good way to get some separation in man coverage. This is the other side of the place. You can really see what's going on here. Lux on the left side there. You see how he's got contact on this guy the whole time. This is just a really good throw laid out in front. Lux is reaching. Like, that's his arm. That's the white glove right there. Reaching as far as he can. He's not the biggest dude. But even though he misses right here, I still like the tackle afterwards. I mean, he's holding on by the jersey and sliding with him and doing his best to stay with number 41. Here comes Lux from the slot, left side again. Get to the outside, set the edge. That's your job here. Let the guys from the backside do their job. We talk about it all the time, right? The edge guys have to set this. You got to be out here because you've got so much help coming from the backside. So much help that if you can stop this running back in his tracks and make him cut back or cut up, you usually have help from your defense. And there's Lux right there setting the edge. Sure, he doesn't get on the stat sheet for making that tackle, but it's a good play by him. I think he's going to jump in the screen on the right side here. He was in, I believe, zone coverage. 45 comes across. It's a high throw, which is going to slow down the receiver. I want you to watch how fast Lux breaks once that ball is caught and the physicality he tackles with here. You can see he tackles through the receiver. That receiver crumbles when Lux hits him. And he slides over him. That's how you know he's tackling through him. He's still driving with his feet. Left side. I think he gets sucked in here. I don't think his job is to dive inside here. Because I'm watching 51, and 51 looked like he was setting the edge. But 51 ends up diving inside. So somebody messed up. One guy can go in. The other guy has to set the edge. So I do wonder, and I don't want to just say this is Lux's fault, because I've seen the Bengals do both of these. Either has the DN dive in and Lux jumps out, but the way Lux is running inside here, I should say running outside here on that first few steps, and then decides to take the cheese of the running back here, makes me think it's him. Because this looks like he's trying to set the edge. Until that DN, number 51, also dives inside. So it takes two usually to make a big play, but Lux does track it down from the backside, stays with it, and tries to make a play. I mean, he is all over this route right here. I absolutely love the coverage on this play for Lux. Let me see if I can get it to go again. There we go. I don't know which number this is, the slot guy, but look at this. First hesitation in, gave it away. Lux recognized it right away and jumped inside. But then this guy is still going to plant to the outside to see if he can move Lux. And watch, it does nothing to 21. If anything, he is on this hard, man. Taking away that throw. I don't think that ball should have went to the outside guy. So it's just that he was covering 45 so well. I want to go back and get this while the circle is still on him. Now we're going all the way to week 17. Bralyn Lux is elevated from the practice squad. And he's coming up to play the final two games of the year, largely in the slot. I think it's slot and special teams. And Jalen Davis is out there. He's playing on the edge. And I think that's DJ Ivy, because we are all the way with our backups at this point. I want to say Davis, when we get to the film review, we may have to add special teams clips in there. Same with Jasir Taylor. I should have done that. Maybe we'll go back and watch Taylor at some point. But, and it would just be special teams. And people have asked for special teams videos. I would like to get there, guys. But it's part of his value. So he and Jasir Taylor, both a lot of special teams, to be clear. Lux is going to have to do a lot of that and pick that up if he's got a shot to make the roster. Anyways, let's watch him in the slot here. You see how he's physical at the point of the break point for the receiver. The receiver's trying to throw him out of there. It's a timing play. Looks like Brissett is right on it, wants to sneak this in between the two defenders. The window is there if he wants to take it. Ends up checking it down instead, because I think Lux is on this so well. So his eyes may have went this right here, but Lux is right there, and then come down to check down, because he's definitely looking that direction. All right, Lux in the slot again. We got a rub route here. Very nice concept for the Cardinals offense. We're going to ride this guy in this way and almost attack our slot receiver and then run out with the slot receiver. If you can tie up that guy and kind of pick them off and rub them off, the boundary guy should be wide open. So that's what the Cardinals are attempting to do here. If you want to see it, I think Lux does a good job of avoiding it. Still, we're talking about Trey McBride, number 85 there. So let's see Lux recover, get to this point. Don't let the receiver turn upfield and try and keep him to minimum game. And I think he does there. I think that's a really good job. He is really shaded inside on this next play here. You can even see him start to lean in here. And as we get a nice vertical stem from an outside release vertical stem from Trey McBride. McBride's trying to curl right here. Lux is on him physically. I think DJ Ivy has great coverage up here. I don't know who this linebacker is, but he's got really good coverage here. And Lux is physical with one of the best tight ends in the league right at the top of his break. Like, look at that. You're making Brissett rethink about it. Lux is still plastered to his back hip to the point where Brissett just throws it into the ground because Lux has great coverage on that play. I don't want to undersell it. I think that's a really, really good play. And I think we've seen a couple now in this game. All right, Lux is in the box here, as slot guys tend to do. Another play where he's going to come back into the play from the outside, similar to that preseason game, the Eagles game, that clip I had. Watch Lux come in and make this hit and help out. I think he shows good energy and physicality to come back in this play, wrapping up, taking the legs out, ensuring that running back doesn't go any further. All right, you see him communicating right here. Lots of communication with the inside guys. Ends up being a run. Lux is checking to make sure we don't have like an RPO screen pass here, and he's got to do his job. I want to go back just a click. He's watching with vision on the inside, which I think is very important as he's looking inside there. Sees the running back is bouncing it out, sees that, okay, the edge is not set here. This play is more than likely going to go to the outside, especially with his linebacker free to attack from the backside here. I would assume the running back's going to try and bring it all the way out, and you got two blockers right here. So watch Lux. He sees it, right? He sees all that happening. His eyes are inside, and now he's going to break through the two blockers potentially. Poor effort for the Cardinals players. Not my problem. Go make a play. And he does. He makes that tackle. So that's what it looks like. He's giving more effort than the guys around him. That's valuable. This is a guy that wants to play, wants to make plays, wants to be part of the defense. All right, going to week 18 now, final game of the year. He's playing at the end of the game as well. He's got a lot of, this is off coverage. We look at cover zero potential blitz here. Everyone's at the line of scrimmage. We only have three guys back, and it's the three corners. In off coverage here, everyone else looks like they're coming to attack Shedeur Sanders. So Shedor's like, okay, maybe I'll throw the slot fade here. Not the slot fade. I'm sorry. We got an outside release from there. So this is where the ball, I think, does go. I wanted to highlight this play because it's really good coverage here. And let me go back just a click. Out route here from the slot. I think that's Jerry Jeudy. I mean, he closes on this very, very well for off coverage. And that ball goes, towards Jalen Davis' side. Back to preseason real quick. You see Lux knock his guy off the route there. We got a potential screen to the running back. There he goes. Come up, make a tackle. Good. We're getting more plays where he's involved in tackling here. He gets turned around a bit here. This is the first time in preseason where I saw his movement skills from the slot, and I really liked it. Despite him turning maybe the wrong way, but flipping his hips and getting right back into position here. I like that movement skills. And then the receiver's going to cut against him, and he's going to flip his hips the other way again. He's going to get flagged for this because he held onto that jersey a little bit too long. But in terms of just movement skills and change of direction, I really, really, really liked that as my first vision of him in the preseason. Watch Lux here. This is going to be a run inside. He's going to dive and attack inside very aggressively. And he misses. Misses big time. But geez, watch him fly in there with this aggression. Like I was talking about with Demetrius Knight, flying in with his head down, eyes down. I understand that's how you miss tackles. But I also need a collection of guys that are willing to run through a brick wall and put their face mask through it. It's football. We need that. All right, Bralyn Lux on the outside here. We're going back to college tape now. Get an idea of what he did. Double move there. Look back, find the ball. Go up, make a play. I think that was Tet McMillan, if I remember correctly. That's why that clip is in there. So staying with a guy who had a very good rookie year last year. All right, on the outside, on the boundary. Again, another deep ball. He's on top of this guy all the way. goes up to the catch point and knocks it away. Again, we're just looking at ball skills here on a lot of these plays. High pointing it, getting in front of the receiver, getting in better position, change of direction, working back to the ball. It's going to go quick here. It's kind of out of the frame, but he's undercutting that one and intercepting it in zone coverage. Top of the screen real quick. Look at the break on that ball. I mean, we're getting a lot of plays. We're getting a lot of plays where the receivers got the advantage on the break, but Bralyn Lux really closes ground and keeps that separation to a minimum. Like right there, that's really good change of direction. That back foot plants, he's cutting and he's moving. Back of the end zone, knocks it away. Off coverage on the far boundary. Look at that change of direction and break on the ball. Are you kidding me? It's a fantastic play by Bralyn Lux. Bottom of the screen again. Watch him. He's got eyes inside. Now he starts to slow play, flipping his hips for the vertical. The receiver's breaking this off. Both receivers here. This receiver's eyes are this way. Lux's eyes are this way. This ball is already gone from the quarterback. I can't see where it is exactly. I don't see a shadow or anything. But watch, Lux is going to undercut it, get his eyes on that ball, and make an interception. And then run after the catch, of course. We'll take a touchdown out of pick six anytime we can. That's a fantastic play. Here he is versus Texas. We got a jump ball, fade ball going that he picks off. Being physical with receivers, picking that off. Oh, so these are the two plays we saw from the TV copy. This is what the film looks like. That's right. This one versus Wyoming. Double move here. Doesn't bite on it. Goes up. Makes a play at the catch point. I like guys with good ball skills that are aggressive. He just ripped that one from the receiver. I don't know if that ends up being an interception or not. Breaking on inside routes. We're getting to see this. Again, breaking on these routes to knock them away. We're just getting different angles of a couple of these. Back of the end zone. That guy gave him a stiff arm right to the face. Right? You see that right here. At the bottom. Stiff arm to the face. And watch him still get inside here. Fight back, wrap around, and knock that ball away. It's a great job. Deep ball, running with him. No panic at all. Like this receiver gets around him. He's in his blind spot. But Lux trusts his ball skills. He tracks it very well. He locates it very well. Look at him reach back and knock that thing away. That's an A+ play on the ball. Again, you better be very careful if you're late on these throws because he has really good change of direction. There it is. Oh, he dropped that one. But these are the exact plays I'm talking about. If you're late to the outside, Lux really changes direction, clicks, closes very, very well. And I think he's got good ball skills, even though he dropped it. Ball skills is more than just catching it. Here he is blitzing from the outside boundary, getting a tackle for a loss on the running back. Another deep ball. I like when I can see corners get tested and they can knock passes away. Huge for my evaluation. I think this is Baylor. It looks like their field. Bang. Should have been picked off. He undercut that. Bad throw. He's all over it. All over the slant. Maybe early contact, but whatever. I dig it. Before we finish up the show, I wanted to bring up Bralyn Lux's college profile on PFF to give you an idea of, they got him listed at 5'11", 185. We know he weighed in at 5'10", 180. But if you go down, it doesn't have his date of birth. I want to say he's going to turn 26 already in his second year. And if you go all the way down here, you can see why that is. And it's cut off just below, but 2,500 career snaps just about. And he played the first 3 years at Fresno, last 2 years at Texas Tech. Had he have come out after that fourth year at Texas Tech with a 78.7, I bet he would have been on radars. Instead, he had his worst season based on PFF that final year. Whenever that happens, that's not a good look. You see guys scoring this low, and not that teams are looking at PFF. I'm just saying, clearly he didn't play as well as he has in previous years. And if you go over, you can see, look at like reception percentage down here. He went from 50 to 62 his first 2 years. And then 47, 46, really good. You want to be in that sub 50% for a guy that's expected to get drafted. And then it jumped up to 58.5. Not ideal. You look at his passer rating allowed, 97, just about average. 127 is terrible. 92, just about average. 72, that's great. And then back to 90. So again, he had some numbers, and at one point that was his fourth year here. I guess this is his senior year, depending on if he was just not playing before 2020. And anyway, his fourth year in college, his best season. And I think when I watch the tape of that, those plays show up. And that's why I wanted to put the college tape in there and really get an idea of what he flashed and the skill set that flashed, because I think it translates pretty easily when you see that preseason tape and then the tape we watched of him and in his 19 snaps in 2025. So if you include all of the preseason snaps from last year and the regular season, he allowed 12 catches on 18 targets, which isn't great, 66.7%. Slot guys tend to allow a little bit higher completion percentage. Got a few pass breakups in there, which is nice to see. You could see the change of direction. You could see the understanding of routes and concepts and leverage. To me, when I see that, I see what is really missing. Sure, he doesn't have the size that you would like inside that teams seem to be going towards, but maybe you do that more with Kyle Duggar. It's not like Jalen Davis has the size. And if he may not have the long speed as well, but neither does Jalen Davis. And I don't think Jasir Taylor's ever really showed it, especially when it comes to him lacking the ball skills that I think Bralyn Lux has. So I know this is a long shot. I know I'm really digging deep here. We're going to watch Dylan Fairchild. We're going to watch Barrett Carter. We're going to watch Jalen Davis. We're going to watch Jordan Battle. We got a long off season to go still before things start ramping up in late July and early August, when we can actually start talking about things that are happening on the field. I get it. But in the meantime, if you're going to get back to the Super Bowl, you're going to need a few breakout players. You're going to need players that are going to outplay, or let's say they're somebody that the national media just doesn't know who they are, or fans of other teams, they don't know who they are. Wow, how's this guy beating us? Where did he come from? Where'd you guys get this guy from? That is the case with every championship level team, is they make players either perform better, look better, put them in better situations that are making them perform at a level that you didn't think they could, and just maximizing their talent. So when I see a guy that has the movement skills, is willing to tackle, is willing to hit, I'm excited about that. And I like to call these shots sometimes, and it's not like I'm saying Bralyn Lux is going to be great. I just want him to get the opportunity because I think he could beat those guys out ahead of him. I don't think it's stiff competition. I think the nickel slot for the Bengals, I didn't mean to say like the nickel / slot, the nickel position for the Bengals is probably one of the weakest and with the least amount of upside, because if Barrett Carter and Demetrius Knight take a step forward, the worst position on the defense might be that slot spot. So they really don't have a prospect there that gets you excited about it. If they're not putting Dax back in there, it's like, oh, I hope Kyle Duggar plays a little bit. And if not, who is the prospect I'm most excited about potentially winning that job and being good potentially? It's Bralyn Lux. And that's why I wanted to do this film review here on Bengals on the Brain, presented by First Star Logistics. Are you looking for a change in career, maybe in the logistics industry? Head on over to firststarlogistics.com and apply today. They're hiring for all positions, and it seems like a great place to work. Whenever I'm there, I have a great time, and everyone seems to be vibing and enjoying their time and work with First Star Logistics. So give it a shot, or just think about it and head on over to firststarlogistics.com. Until next time, Hoo day.